Hello everyone, in this video I will be telling you about CSS. Now, CSS, and what is CSS? Actually CSS is Cascading Style Sheets. Actually, why do we use CSS? We use CSS to design, to give a style to our HTML page. So CSS is used for giving style to our HTML page. Fine. So this is the use of CSS. Now I just tell you more in detail. CSS can be used to easily edit and create styles for web pages and can be either directly incorporated into the web page or can be used by web page externally. So these both ways it can be done. Now if I talk about the syntax of CSS, now this is syntax. Now what does syntax mean? Syntax means the way we write it in coding part. How do we write it? What is the syntax? So a CSS rule has two main parts basically. Number one is the selector and other one or more declaratives. Now what is selector and what is declarative? That I tell you. Like H1 I have given, this is a selector. Fine, this is like heading 1. We know in HTML H1 stands for heading 1 and this says this is a selector. And if I talk about the declaration part, now what it is like in inverted comma I like color. This is how we declare, like we are giving heading 1 a color and we write it like this way, any color we give it blue and then we write it like property and color, that may be 2 pixels, right? In curly braces it would be closed. This is very important. In curly braces it would be closed with a termination sign as well. So this is how. Now this is known as only this part is known as a declaration. And another declaration is this. So basically CSS consists of two parts. Number one part, if I talk about the syntax, one is the selector, in which you select, okay, this thing of the HTML element is to be styled into, like color of the heading 1 should be blue, and if the property, if you want to, like 12 pixels, that ways. So this is the whole, this we call the property, this is the property, and this is the value of the property. So this is the property and this is the value. So this is the syntax of HTML, right? The selector is normally the HTML element. As I just told, the selector is normally the HTML element. You want to style. Each declaration consists of a property and a value. So each declaration, if I talk about, consists of a property and a value. Fine. Now, so this was just a basic overview of CSS, that is basically used for styling, and two parts it has. One is the selector and other the declaration part, and how do we, what's the syntax. Next I talk about that we have an ID and a class selector. If I talk about a selector, we have two types of selectors. One is an ID selector and one is a class selector. So if I talk about ID only, this is ID selector. This ID is used to specify a style for a single unique element. Yes, for a single unique, you say it's a ID selector, and it is denoted by ID. Actually, I just write it down more specifically that we have two types of selectors. One is ID selector, another one is class selector. ID is denoted by this sign, hash sign, and it is for a unique, for a single element, we use ID selector. Like if I use in coding, like ID selector is denoted by this sign, and I like para 1. So this means only in para 1 that is to be done, whatever I do the formatting and styling of that. Fine. And if I talk about the class selector, it is denoted by a dot sign, and class selector means for more than one elements. That is style for a group of elements, that is known as class selector. Right, I write it in a formatting, I write dot class or anything. Like for a class selector I write it dot center if I want to give something like to center alignment. If I want the alignment to be centrally aligned, then I give that thing. So in this lecture I will be discussing only about this thing, about CSS. I have discussed about syntax. Then I have talk about two types of selectors we have. One is your ID selector and another one is your class selector. Thank you and have a nice day. I hope this video is clear to you. Thank you.